The knives are out for Kash Patel, the FBI director, as criticism is mounting fast over his handling of the investigation into the suspected shooter of Charlie Kirk. And the knives aren't just out from the left, they're also out from the right. And many are now calling for his resignation or his firing because of just how badly he mishandled this investigation. Remember, Patel is running around telling the public that it was law enforcement that caught the suspected shooter, Tyler Robinson. But that's not true. Robinson's own family persuaded him to turn himself in, helped facilitate that process. Had they not done that, law enforcement may still be conducting a manhunt today. And not just that, Kash Patel took significant fire because he tweeted out earlier last week saying that they got the suspect, when in reality, they didn't. And where was Kash Patel when he tweeted that out? Dining at a very expensive New York restaurant, Rao's. And now many are saying that Patel is simply unfit to lead the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The knives are out within MAGA. The knives are out among the left. Now, Patel still claims he has the support of the White House and the support of Donald Trump. We'll see if that's actually true. And let me just put this for you in perspective. An FBI director serves 10 years. This is not a partisan role. Kash Patel has been in the role for only 8 months. He may not survive in that role past the end of the year. So we'll see what happens there. Now, meanwhile, an Iowa official, folks, is defying Governor Kim Reynolds, who ordered essentially all flags across the state to go half-staff for Charlie Kirk after his passing. Well, one Iowa official, Johnson County Supervisor John Green, is refusing, saying, quote, "I will not grant Kirk County honors. I will not grant Johnson County honors to a man who made it his life's mission to denigrate so many of my constituents. I have sworn an oath to protect and who did so much to harm not only the marginalized, but also to degrade the fabric of our body politic." Green condemned Kirk's killing, but criticized Reynolds for not issuing similar honors about other shootings, sparking significant debate among Iowa. But Green is right. When was Governor Kim Reynolds, where was she when Melissa Hortman was politically assassinated in Minnesota? Why weren't half-staff flags? Why weren't all flags half-staff for several days after that? These are questions that are being asked today. And well, now one Iowa county official is saying, hold up, I'm not actually going to do this because I don't have to. And he is defying Governor Reynolds in real time. Before I continue, mainstream media is under attack and they are caving to Trump every single day, allowing conspiracies to spread. Please be sure to subscribe to support my work, a new style of media, independent media, or send a one-time donation via Venmo to Aaron-Parnas. So there's going to be continued talk about Kirk. There's going to be continued talk about the effort to dox individuals and fire individuals who make public remarks that may seem inappropriate or insensitive. That's going to happen today. But at least in Iowa, in this one county, John Green, the supervisor, he's going to take significant heat from the right. But remember, he can't just be removed. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what Governor Reynolds says for him defying her order. Now, meanwhile, Donald Trump made a pretty outlandish claim saying that essentially what's illegal is the fact that 300 million people died last year from drugs. He was asked when he was coming back, when he was leaving New Jersey to go to the White House, he was asked about Venezuela's president, Nicolas Maduro, condemning a U.S. strike on the boat in the Southern Caribbean as illegal. Trump replied with a very false claim, saying that what's illegal is the fact that 300 million people died last year from drugs. For perspective, there are only about 340 million Americans, and even if 300 million people around the world died, that would be a much bigger deal than anyone is claiming. So anyways, that is false. Not sure where Donald Trump got that number from.
Are you going with us? Huh? Are you going with us, Maggie?
Not with you.
Good.
Just one more on Venezuela. The president of Venezuela called the strike on the boat illegal. Are you concerned that Maduro might escalate something?
No, what's illegal are the drugs that were on the boat and the drugs that are being sent into our country and the fact that 300 million people died last year from drugs. That's what's illegal.
Do you think he's not telling the truth when he's...
Meanwhile, Carrie Lake, who is a government official, reacted to Kirk's shooting, saying that essentially universities should be to blame for, quote, brainwashing students. She further claimed that the 22-year-old was once a Trump supporter and urged mothers not to, quote, send your children into these indoctrination camps.
We've got to stop this, folks. We can't let this go on. This violence has got to stop. It's got to stop. And I'm not going to say our side is perfect, but damn it, this is coming from the other side. How does a 22-year-old become so filled with hate? 5 years earlier, I was told he was a Trump supporter. And we sent our kids off to college and they brainwashed them. I am making a plea to mothers out there. Do not send your children into these indoctrination camps. Don't do it. Do not do it.
This type of rhetoric is only going to fuel more violence among the right and is only going to further divide the United States of America, but Lake is making the comments regardless. In a crazy story, 14 staff members and 75 animals were evacuated from the Yellowstone Valley Animal Shelter in Billings, Montana, after the FBI used the shelter's furnace to burn seized methamphetamine, filling the building with smoke. Employees required hospital treatment in hyperbaric chambers, while several animals are currently under veterinary care. And the shelter executive director said she was unaware of the drug burn, calling the incident, quote, heartbreaking, and is now seeking donations as the facility goes under weeks of decontamination. Adib Nasir of Magna, Utah, was arrested on terrorism charges after a lit but failed bomb incendiary device was found under a news media vehicle in Salt Lake City, with the FBI later discovering hoax WMDs, firearms, and narcotics at his home. He is currently being held without bail as investigators probe a possible motive. Donald Trump threatened to declare national emergency and federalize Washington, D.C. after Mayor Bowser refused to have city police comply with or cooperate with ICE officials. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that D.C. is very close to a deal with China over TikTok, but Donald Trump did yesterday say that he may let TikTok just die as negotiations between China and the United States continue. New York Governor Kathy Hochul endorsed Assemblyman Zohran Mamdani in his New York mayor run, calling the choice, quote, extremely serious in a New York Times op-ed. And in response, Donald Trump threatened to cut federal funding from New York following the endorsement, saying, how can such a thing happen? Washington will be watching this situation very closely. No reason to be sending good money after bad. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert won its first Emmy for Outstanding Talk Series just months after CBS canceled it. In his acceptance speech, Colbert thanked his team, reflected that the show was really about loss, and said, quote, I have never loved my country more desperately. God bless America. And paraphrase Prince, if the elevator tries to bring you down, go crazy and punch a higher floor. Health Secretary RFK Jr., a longtime vaccine skeptic, is targeting the Vaccine Injury Compensation Program, calling it, quote, broken, and vowing to, quote, fix it by adding conditions like autism to its list and altering vaccine recommendations, moves that experts warn could flood the system with claims, pushing lawsuits to traditional courts, which is what the system was created to design and was designed to avoid. That's all the news this morning. I'm sure there's going to be much more news this afternoon and this evening, so stay tuned for more. Make sure to subscribe and support, and I'll see you soon. Hey folks, Aaron Parnas here. Thank you so much for watching The Parnas Perspective. Please consider subscribing to support our work as we grow this independent news media entity into something that rivals mainstream every single day. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.